Thursday Night Tailgate, where the spotlight is always on the positive. Tune in Thursday night from 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern Time to hear your favorite NFL legends, players, and coaches sharing their stories. Now back to Chris and Bob.
I wouldn't joke about anything else that happens here tonight.
Now back with us here on Thursday Night Tailgate is former Steelers Pro Bowl linebacker Greg Lloyd. Let me remind you about Greg's background. He's from Miami, Florida, played his college ball at Fort Valley State in South Georgia, where he was a three-time All-Southern Intercollegiate Athletic Conference selection, a three-time defensive MVP, and as a senior, he was the Conference Player of the Year and a first-team Sheridan All-American. He was a sixth-round draft pick by the Pittsburgh Steelers in 1987, and he played in the league from 87 to 1998, all in Pittsburgh except for his last season in Carolina. He was selected to 5 straight Pro Bowls from 1992 to 1996. He was the AFC Defensive Player of the Year in 1994. He was a member of the Steelers' all-time team, and we are very honored that he is back with us again tonight here on Thursday Night Tailgate. Hey, Greg. Chris and Bob here. Thanks for coming back on the show.
Hey, Greg.
Hey, guys. How you guys doing? Hey, Chris. Hey, Bob. How's everybody going?
Oh, we're fantastic, Greg. How are you, my friend?
I'm good, man. I'm here. I was listening to Toy and thinking about guys that I had like that. That's pretty cool. You know, I haven't heard that name I haven't heard that name in a long time.
So, Greg, I got to get your thoughts on the Steelers defense because as I texted to you the other day, I think you got to dust off the 95 and show up in Heinz Field on Sunday because the defense needs a lot of help. What's your thought? What are you seeing so far from the Steelers defense?
Well, again, you know, I think I've said this in past times. If you're going to run the 3-4 defense, you have to have those 4 linebackers have to be active. Those 4 linebackers make that defense work. Now, that being said, I know that, you know, some of these guys are young and things of this nature, you know, 1-year guys, you know, show up and everybody thinks, oh, well, that's the one thing I love about football. Football is not a season. It's not a year. You can do something 1 year real good and then show up the next year and attempt to do it. You have to be consistent with it. And so they have some players over there that have not managed to show up on a consistent basis. They may show up a game here, a game there, but they haven't been consistent. And then let's talk about, I know they've got some injuries in the safety in the area, in the corner area back there. But again, that has been probably the last 3 or 4 years. That has been their Achilles heel. They can't cover anybody. And if you can't cover it, if you can't rush the passer and make the, quarterback hurry up, get rid of the ball, which is what your outside linebackers and your inside linebackers are supposed to be doing, you can't expect guys to cover. I mean, especially when you don't have good cover guys back there. And I hate saying that about, this defense. I mean, they're running the exact defense that, we ran when I was there. They may have dumbed it down a little bit, but, it's just like, I don't think they're as active as they should be, playing in a, 3-4 defense. And, I can't say much more than that because I don't want to get in trouble with some of my guys that are over there. But it really hurts. It hurts to watch it. It really hurts to watch it. And you're like, okay, they've got the lead. They're like, oh, the defense is coming up there. So opposite of what, used to seeing, or so opposite of what it was when we were there. It was like, okay, if the defense is on the field, we got it. We're going to win this. Don't worry about it. They're not going to let them score. Now it's like, oh, God, these guys just scored 7. Okay, we can score 7 too. But, if they got the ball with time left in the game and we're on the field defense-wise, chances are they're going to win. You don't want to say that, but that's kind of reality. So I think guys have to do some gut checking. I think, there have to be some finger points, some, getting in some rooms and getting each other's praise and, some accountability going on, man. And, right now it doesn't look very good.
And Greg, as you mentioned a moment ago, opposite of what it was like when you were there, one of the things that I heard attributed to you, and I don't know if it's true or not, I want to get your thoughts, was that you used to say to the offense, score more than 17 points and we're going to win. Was that accurate?
Well, yeah, just tell them, give us 17 points. If you can give us 17 points, we're going to win. There were times when we were playing teams, and I remember saying it to DeMonte one time, walking off the field, and I think they had fumbled the ball or something, and they were walking off the field, and they were looking dejected. And I said, hey, man, don't worry about it. I said, they're not going to score. I said, don't worry about it. They're not going to score. I said, you know what? People didn't come to watch y'all play today anyway. They couldn't watch us. and we would laugh about it, and he would kind of give each other things like, they come to y'all, they can't watch us play. If you guys go over there and watch, they're not going to score. And that's how we do. We hold, they were from the ball on 10 yards. Guys got 15, 20 yards to go. It's like, we're going to make a kick go. They're not going to get in the end zone. But that's the mentality. But you can't have that mentality if you don't prepare. And preparation was the key. That's how we prepared. Not the work was done on the field, but the majority of the work got done in the classroom. Sitting in there by ourselves, not with coaches, in the morning, and just watching keys and talking to each other. Hey, man, call this down. What happened when they do this? And then by the time the coaches came in the room, I think we said this, by the time the coaches, came in the room, we had already, talked about what we were going to do. We were basically explaining to them how it was going to go down. So when they got, we got to practice, it was go, go, go. Sunday was kind of like, believe it or not, Sunday was like an off day. It was like, all the work's been done. We just got to go out here now and just, play the game. Let time run out the clock. And that was it. But it's like I said, I think, they have talent. They have talent. I just don't think in the era that guys are playing in, I can't say it's a coach thing or anything like that because coaches don't play. I just think that accountability has come. Somebody has to say, hey, listen, this is not the style of defense that we're used to seeing, that we've heard about, that we have watched in past time. What do we do about it? So somebody has to step up to the plate and make some kind of something and say, here's what we're going to do. We got to change something because at this rate they're going right now. I mean, 8-8 ain't even in the equation. I mean, it's not looking good. So and then like you say, it's still a lot of time. Still a lot of time. First quarter, the season's already gone. But like you say, man, this thing goes fast. Before you know it, you're looking up and you're trying to make playoff. I mean, you don't lose to Baltimore at home. Cincinnati's looking good, and like I said, Cleveland, you tied to Cleveland. That's a win for Cleveland. That's a win and a loss for you. You can take that other one off of there. Anytime you tie with Cleveland, it's one. Now, granted, Cleveland is a better team than they've been in the last 15, 20, 30, 40, 50 years. They're a better team now. But, again, I mean, we counted those as W's, whether we was up there or not. But it's preparation. It's not that they had a bad team. It's just that we're just not going to let Cleveland Brown beat us. We're not going to let Cincinnati beat us. We're not going to let, Baltimore. It's a mentality. I don't know if they have that leadership there, if it's a room where you can and get in each other's rear end or you can't hold each other. I don't know. But I know that's what we did, and I think it's going to have to be a lot of that. Now, not necessarily finger point, just guys saying, okay, man, what more can I do? What can I do? What can I do? Can I, get in and do a little bit more film watching? Can we do something? Somebody has to come up with something. But it has to be players that do it. It can't be coaches.
And, Greg, we've talked about this in the past, how sometimes, you and Kevin would get in there and override the defensive call that came into Levon and want to do something different. But did you ever get the coaches back together, whether it was Capers or whoever, the D coordinator, the linebackers coach was at the time? You ever get them back? You talk about film preparation and go, hey, here you guys wanted us to do this. And that didn't make any sense. That's why we did this instead, to kind of have that collaboration back and forth between you and the coaches.
Marvin Lewis was my linebacker. Now we've had everybody that probably coached probably got their head coach, D coordinator job because of they coach for all pro linebackers. So but the thing of it is, players play, coaches coach. Now let's not take anything with coaches do their job. They make sure that all the paperwork and all those things, they've done all the research and third downs and what teams are like to do and things of that nature. Now it's up to us to once they give it to us, what we do with the information when we get it. But we got guys like Rod Woodson and Cardell Lake and Darren Perry and Kevin Green, myself. Guys are like, okay, guys want to be good. You want to be good. You want to win. You want to, guys, counting on you when your number gets. In order for that to take place, you have to study, but I have to know what Kevin is thinking. Kevin has to know what I'm thinking. They have to know, what he's thinking and stuff like that. Like, so, we got Rod Woodson covering on the corner. We got Willie Williams covering on the other corner. It's like, okay, those are cover guys. All we got to do is just get to the quarterback. If we get to the quarterback in that slide amount of time, we got a very good chance, and because those guys can cover. So, we didn't really have that problem about, breaking down and things like that. You got Cardell Lake who could play corner or safety. He come up to, he played linebacker when he was at, UCLA. Kid could step up there and, he could be, fifth linebacker. So we had company, but what we did was we communicated. We sat down and we went to practice and we did something, and it was like, oh man, I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't like that. You know, when something was happening, like I don't like that. What do you think? And if we ran something 2 or 3 times a play, and let's say we got 2 or 3 guys every time we ran the same play, 2 or 3 guys got it wrong, then we just got smart enough to let's scratch that. Everybody ain't on the same page on this play rate. We got, you know, however many plays in our book. One play out of the equation is not going to happen. Let's just scratch that. But then every now and again, coaches would get beside themselves and say, okay, let's run that play. And like, listen, man, this play was not happening in practice. We were screwing this up in practice. Why would we want to run this play in the game? So that's when we say, hey, Kirk coming out. Kirk, we're not running that. We don't screw that up in practice. Let's go back to our basic run. And Kirk would look at me like, I said, listen, I'm not running that. Terry would look at me like, I'm not running it. And we're like, okay, so he's not running, I'm not running. Call something basic. We call it, hit the play for a loss or, you know, come off the field. You know, and Marvin was good at it. Marvin was up in the booth, but he was good at getting on the phone. Put Greg on the phone. You know, I get on the phone. He goes, hey, who changed that play? I said, Kirk called that play. You know, I'm lying. But he already knew. He already knew. But the thing was, it's like, hey, listen, what do you guys care? We hit this play for a loss and stuff like that. But that's the thing about it. Sometimes you have to know. Coaches up there watching, and that's good, and they have instinct and all that. But your instinct in the booth and a headset doesn't help me, you know, when the quarterback starts his cadence. You know, it's up to me, and you have to trust me. And you have to I got to trust that guy next to me. I got to trust him. So long as everybody can get on the same page, we can change the play and get everybody on the same page. Quarterbacks do it all the time. Nobody says anything about it. Quarterback can see you in a defense, and he always pulls out. Well, why can't we do it on defense? I mean, that's what it was. It's a game of chess. So, you know, we would do that, but, you know, come to the sideline, and I think Coach Cowher would always ask LeVon. So he was good at it. He just took it. He was a young cat, so he wasn't going to rat us out. But, you know, that's just being veteran and knowing, you know, what to see, what to do, and things of that nature. And, you know, like you said, guys respected that. You know, it wasn't the fired thing. It was like, oh, you know, I don't listen thing. It was just that guys, you know, that sometimes kind of like player coaches, you know, we could tell, oh, man, they're lined up. Hey, Kevin, that's coming to you, man. That's coming to you, KG. That's that play. It's coming to you. We could say that in the middle of the game. Kirk, coming right here, right there. And then the quarterback called timeout. And they would come back into the lineup in a different formation, trying to run the same thing. So those are the kind of things. But I just think I don't see the communication with this young guys, you know, and I think the Steelers may be doing a lot of teams that have been so dominant over the years are doing. I think that young guys are going to have to get in there and they're going to have to do the work as opposed to just getting in there worried about social media and, you know, my next contract and things of that nature. I think, guys, when you're a Pittsburgh Steeler, you always have to concern yourself about legacy. You know, you got to leave a legacy in Pittsburgh. Other than that, people would just go, who? You play for who? I don't remember that. You know, you don't want to be that guy. You know, and that was the one thing, like you said, when we came in that we get, like, you know, you got Lambert. I'm playing behind Lambert and Hammer and Russell and, you know, Robert Cole and David Little and Brian Hinkle and, you know, we got a Mike Merriweather and all these. We got all these stud linebackers. You can't just be out there running around, man. You got to get you want to make a name for yourself, you know. And if you do that, all that other stuff follows you, you know. So that's the difference. I think that's the difference. I think we were more winning. We were more concerned about, hey, listen, you know, when this is all said, you know, we don't just want to win. We want to, you know, embarrass these guys. We don't want these guys. We don't want these guys, you know, about third quarter. We don't even want them walking back on the field. We want them walking on the field with their head down. But that's preparation. That's not bullying. That's not any of that other stuff. It's preparation, but it's football, you know. And that's, you know, I know the rules and all that stuff have changed, and I laugh now because I would lie. I go, you know, most of us would be playing for free now because we'd be fined so much. But it's just a different game now. But the studying part of it, the aspect of it, and the, you know, the grinding aspect of it, the learning aspect, it hasn't changed, and it should change, you know. I mean, and that's the difference. But I think that year together, I just don't think it'll be this year. You know, I think they're going to have to go through some tribulations, you know, and some trials, and, you know, figure out, you know, this and that, you know, with oh gosh, young kid's name that you know, with Shazier not being in there. I mean, that's a big loss, you know, for me. Somebody has to step up. I mean, I think, I don't know what year it was, 96, I believe. Got the staph infection and all that stuff. Chad Brown stepped in and became Pro Bowl linebacker. Me standing there I didn't have to tell him a whole lot. because he'd been watching. He knew what to do. It's just like, hey, listen, this is not inside, it's outside. You got a freedom to do what? Just don't let nobody get outside you. And, I sat in the meetings with him and stuff like that. But it's like I didn't coach him to do it. I showed him how to study. He did the rest. He did the rest. I wasn't out there on the field with him. He did the rest. So, that's the advantage sometimes of having veteran players, veteran players on the team, when you got, when you have a young team. I just think somebody in that veteran group of, how old they got have to step up and get guys together and decide that, hey, listen, we got to put more time into, into our craft. Because at the end of the day, that's how you make your living, man.
Bob, questions for Greg?
And Greg, being a former Steeler, Greg, and based on what you just said, I have to get your stance on this whole Le'Veon Bell thing. We're hearing a lot, Greg, as far as, guys need to get paid. It is a business and everything, but even the teammates on the team right now are more perturbed that it was almost like an abandonment. He didn't keep in touch with these guys. Didn't seem like the ultimate team player. How would this have flown about 20 years ago?
It wouldn't have. But we back then, we understood when a guy deserved to get paid. I don't know what Le'Veon make, but if you can afford to take a $800,000 hit, per game, so you're still making money. But my thing of it is, it's a team thing. When I first came, I put it like this: when I first came into the league in '87, you guys do know that was a strike year, right? Well, you're talking about a young kid coming from a small black college who ain't got no money, and they saying you can't cross the line. I'm going, okay, well, I ain't got no money, guys. You guys been doing this for a minute. But as a teammate, you have to show solidarity. So it's like, okay, I ain't had money before. I ain't got none now, so it ain't no big deal. But how do we, make this so I can start getting some? So, but it had nothing to do with me. It had to do with, talking to, Mike West and those guys. Those guys, believe it or not, back then, those guys were across the line, and they were before I could, things of that nature. But a guy holding out, we respected it a lot. But, guys back then it wasn't about this kind of money. It was money, saying, so I guess it's on the same thing. But we understood. I guess we kind of understood. I can't say that we kept in touch with guys because when a guy was holding out, we didn't know where he was. We didn't see him working out, and we just happened to see him. We saw him and things of that nature. So I can't say that I could accurately say, what's going on. I just know that Le'Veon Bell is a big part of the Steelers' offense, a big part of their offense. I would think that a guy like that, a guy like Ben, a guy like, AB, some of the other guys would keep in touch with the guy and say, hey, man, let's do this, let's do that, or find a way, hey, listen, man, let's do this. Let's just get this thing together this year. And then next year, whatever happens, but we need, may or may not work. But I don't know. I don't know about the abandoned part. I don't know if that's something, a way we would have looked at it back then. Because, again, everybody deserves to get paid what they're worth. And if a guy's not getting paid what he's worth, then he's not going to be happy. You don't want him on your team anyway. A guy that, because, he's just going to cause problems. So, I think right now that, Le'Veon eventually will get what he wants. He may not be a Steeler, but he'll get what he wants. And I think that's probably the down end of it. I can still see the Steelers probably saying no to him. You got to understand, the Steelers cut Franco Harris, guys. The Steelers cut Mike Webster, not to say Rod Woodson and me and a bunch of other guys. So, you got to look at it like this and no disrespect, So you got to look at it that way. But like you say, if the kid deserves what he deserves and he feels like he should be, and as a former player, I have to stand in his corner and say, absolutely, the kid, get now. Because he's such an important part, of that offense, people want to start after a while, and guys are going to start grumbling and stuff. But, again, they can score 42 points. And if the defense don't hold nobody, the other team can score 43. So what's the difference? It's really ain't about Le'Veon Bell. It's really about defense right now. The other team can't score no points. They can't win, period.
And Greg, you just mentioned, finally, you mentioned Woodson a few times tonight. He was probably my favorite Steeler ever, Hall of Famer. I don't know if I've ever seen too many faster guys on a football field when he was healthy, punt returner, defensive back. You've mentioned it. It's kind of a silly question, but just remind our listeners what kind of teammate was he, and one of the best athletes I think I've ever seen.
Well, Woody was like, that's what I like about it. When I think about it, I always smile and laugh because he has a sense of humor. He played the right side. We took pride in that right side. And a lot of times, like Woody, they letting him on out and ups and stuff like that. He wouldn't come back to the huddle, and he would always look to me. But I got fined more time for Rod Wood's fight, breaking up fight, than I in my entire NFL. I've never started a fight, breaking up a fight from him with Carl. What was that guy? Carl Pickett from Cincinnati.
Oh yeah,
he's in fights with Cleveland kid. But anyway, but always then he got in a fight with a big kid from the Raiders. But as a person, man, just a really good guy. But what I loved about Rod, I used to ride Cardinal when it came to running on the track, and of course both of those guys, they were like, you talking fast and just endurance. So the trade-off was they had to come to martial arts class because I'm out there running with them, and it was so funny because this is how it was awesome. Where you guys feel in class right now is where I feel trying to chase you guys on track. But my goal was always within 7-8 yards of Rod and Cardell. I'm running pretty fast. There were days I felt like I blew my hamstring out. But Rod was he studied. Rod Woodson, Carnell Lake, Willie Williams, Darren Perry, those guys, they got in those rooms and they studied. And they studied. And they studied. And like I said, when you came on the field, game day was like easy. I still can recall playing in a game on a Sunday at 1:00 and coming home and cutting my grass. That's how easy. So I'm serious. That's like the games were. And it was amazing. That's what Rod brought. Say when you have a corner out there that's a shutdown corner, you don't have to worry about it, man. It's the easy thing in the world. Rushing the quarterback, trying to get to the quarterback. You know what? He's not going to have all day. And if he did have all day, this guy's not going to outrun Rod. He was just that savvy. And but that's what I love. You could put him on the other side of the field. He can cover the best receiver. You put him in kickoff return. You put him in punt return, and he can hurt you. He can hurt you in a number of ways. But just obviously, a Hall of Famer. He could have been a Hall of Famer just returning punts. Things of that nature. Just an all-around guy, man. One of my favorite guys. Talk to him. We talk, stuff like that. It's like I hear Toy. I hate to hear Toy talking about, one of his friends. Like, you may not see each other for a while, but when you see each other, it's like, okay, it's locker room all over again. Like we just, went home and came back last night. But what a super guy, man, and deserving to be a Hall of Famer. But just, just a great. He's just a great overall. I call him a kid, but he's a great overall kid, man. I, loved him for so many years, still do. And like you say, he's the epitome of what the Hall of Fame, should be, and just a really unselfish individual.
Well, Greg, we can't thank you enough for taking time out of your night to come back and be a part of the show. You're one of our favorite guests, one of my favorite all-time players, and it's always such a big thrill to get to spend some time with you. We hope you'll come back during the season and share more of your stories and insights with us because you're so fantastic.
Well, we'll do, guys. Hey, listen, guys, thanks for having me, man. You guys keep doing what you're doing, man, and I'll keep listening.
We appreciate you, Greg. Take care. All the best to you and your family. We'll catch up again soon.
All right. Thank you, guys. Enjoy.
Good night.
All right. Good
See
night.
you, Greg. That is Steelers legend Greg Lloyd. And boy, Bob, I could sit and listen to Greg tell stories all night long. I mean, from all the things that he did during the course of his career and the great insights that he has for what's going on right now. I just love having Greg as part of the show. Can't wait to do it again.
Yeah, his intensity is still there, Chris. It's and as a Steeler fan, you must eat it up, But he's still, when you talk to Greg like we have for so long, why they were so good. That's pretty much about all I have to say about him. But great storyteller, and my goodness, what teams, man, what teams.
Yeah, and I love the part where he talks about all the study and the film work that they did, and working and having all of that stuff done. By the time the coaches were there, they were already on to what they needed to do. And those are the kind of behind the scenes stories that, you have to do, right? And you love hearing, first of all, but when you think about how great that defense was and the massive amount of talent they had, But to hear Greg talk about, what it was a lot of the film work and a lot of the study. And I don't know how many times you used the word study tonight, but it was fantastic to hear that that's how hard they worked. It wasn't just the great talent that they had, and they certainly had a boatload of that, but the film work, the time they put into it, the practice, and the studying that they did, that's what made the difference. And I think he's 100% right about that, and it was great to hear that.
Exactly. When you're combining talent and smart men and the intensity, they had it all, and that's why they were so good.
That's right, and the work ethic they put in behind it.